Do not forget the thing that God has already done. You know, sometimes life moves so fast, and because we're always on to the next thing, we forget the moments that we're standing in that we once cried for. We forget the moments that we're standing in that we were once stressed about. We forget the moments that we're standing in that we once thought would never happen. We thought these things were never possible. And sometimes before we take a moment to think and to realize that everything that I have right now is because I prayed for it in past times. Sometimes we move so fast on to the next thing, begging and pleading and crying for God to do the next thing, that we don't fully show appreciation for the thing that God has already done for us. And so God, help us to not be so anxious for the next thing that we forget how good of a God you are in this present moment. Help us to not forget how good of a God you were in past moments. And help us to remember as we move forward that the same God that we're praying to do the next thing for, the same God that we're stressing out to do the next thing, that God, you've already done the thing that we're sitting in here right now. So God, in all the chasing that I do and all the success that I obtain, help me to never become ungrateful for the things that you have already done. I don't care if it's money, I don't care if it's relationships, I don't care if it's career moves. Help me to never forget how faithful you were in past times. Help me to not overlook how faithful you were in past times. But God, help me to stay aware and help me to discern the moments where I'm forgetting what you've already done. And so I hope that some of us literally take a moment to stop, and to look around and to look at the things that we once hoped God would do for us. We realize the exact things that we hoped for are the exact things that we are experiencing right now. Help me to understand that the exact thing that I once prayed for is the exact blessing that I'm sitting in right now. Even when I recognize the things that I hoped and that I prayed for, that you did not answer the way that I wanted you to answer them, help me, God, to remember that you are still faithful and that because you were the God who knows all, it might not have felt good to me, but God, help me to understand that it was good for me. And so before we pray and beg and cry over the next thing that we're asking God for, may we remember what God has already done. And may it convict our faith to believe that God is still able to do everything that He said He was going to do.